What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dime Aki, and I'm here. I hope y'all here because if you here, what do it mean? What does that mean? It means you still got purpose. You, me, we still got purpose. Period. But I just got on here to just, have a little conversation between you and I on why the hell is it so damn hard for me to start my YouTube channel? Like, why is it so hard for us to start this channel? Like, I had to go through my thing and like really figure out where this thing stemmed from because, it's like you see other people doing it, right? You see other people doing it, you see other people's channels growing, and you just think to yourself like, damn, like I can't even post a video consistently every week for a month. So like, what is wrong with me? What am I missing? So like, this is like a conversation that I pretty much had to have with myself. And as you can see, I got the handy dandy notebook sitting right here, full of some notes, and I just kind of like went in, a deep conversation with myself and just asked myself like, what's holding me back? Because, I know like what may be holding me back, may be holding other people back. And we may share that same thing in common. And I also feel like by me being able to like realize that, like it's helped me to see like, help me to come up with some things that I can do to help me with these issues that's, causing me to like slack on my channel. So, so for me, the number one thing I feel like for me was being judged and just being criticized by others. But you know what I say? Do you know what I say? Man, I say fuck them. I say fuck them. You feel me? Especially when you just being your own true authentic self. Like, and especially when your intentions are pure. Like, what does it matter? I just say fuck them. You know what I mean? And I just be like, man, y'all better go on somewhere with that. Go on somewhere with that. Leave me alone. Let me be me. You feel me? And see, what we have to start to do is just embrace this. If we can just like embrace this concept, like I had to tell myself, when people start throwing that evil eye shit at you and them shade, negative opinions that serve no purpose, like no purpose at all, you just have to realize that they're only really projecting, they're only projecting how they really feel about themselves. You know what I mean? And also, like, like when they be doing that, when they do that, that's when we just gotta realize that, and we just gotta be like, we're gonna pray for these niggas. You know what I mean? We're gonna pray for these niggas because a thief of joy, that's a real freaking thief. Some of these people out here thieves, and they really don't even know that shit. They don't even know that they thieves of joy. Commenting on people's page and stuff like that, saying stuff, like not leaving behind anything, not even constructive criticism, but it's just straight up negative stuff. And it's just like, for one, if you don't like it, keep it pushing. You know what I mean? If something is not serving you any purpose, if you feel like this ain't for you, why are you even giving your energy, giving your time to it? That's what I be asking myself. You feel me? But yes, a real thief of joy is a real freaking thief. But for real, let's not let others be our thief of joy, okay? Talk your shit and pop your shit, period. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody come and, take that from you. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I like doing this video right now is cringy for me because it's like, sometimes you just like, honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I talk to myself all the time. So it's like right now I feel like I'm really just having a conversation with myself, but with y'all. But sometimes we gotta push through that. You know what I mean? We just gotta push through that, and that's why, we just gotta work on healing, ourselves, That's why we got to do that shadow work, to just see where it really stems from, to see where that shit stems from. Because once we figure out where it stems from, and once we figure out what the issue is and what's really holding us back, can't that nigga come over here and shake shit. You feel me? Can't that person come over here and shake shit, because baby, what? I'm solid. I'm solid in who I am. I'm solid, period. You can't come in my comments. You can't say shit that's gonna throw me off, because I know what I'm doing. I know I'm doing it to help somebody else. You know what I mean? My intentions behind it is pure. So can't nobody, if your intentions behind something is pure, don't let nobody come in your shit and throw you off your pivot, throw you off track, throw you off your journey on what you got going on. Like, nah. But that brings me to the next thing. What armor are you wearing? What armor are you wearing to where when those people, when they do that, when they, if that's even something that you may experience, you know what I mean? You may not even experience that. But this is just, we just talking through this right now. We talking through this right now because we got to get on it. We know doing our YouTube channel, putting ourselves out there so other people can see us and we can connect. That's something that we really want to do, and all these things go through our mind. You know what I mean? Not saying it's gonna happen, but it's like, what armor are you wearing? Are you affirming yourself? You saying them affirmations? You know what I mean? Are you doing your shadow work? Are you showing up for yourself, gaining more trust within yourself? And are we stepping out of our comfort zone, like I'm kind of doing right now? Because there is no comfort in growth, and you can't forget about the higher power. For me, that's source. That's my I work with my ancestors. I work with my my spiritual family, or whatever God that is to you. Your understanding of God. You know what I mean? Do you have God in your corner? That is your armor. You know what I mean? Like, when you already doing the work for yourself, can't nobody come and tell you otherwise. Can't nobody come and, when you got that armor on, it's hard to shake you. So yeah, that's one thing. So the next thing I want to get into is, we be too damn worried about them likes. And I know, when I tried to start, I was on Instagram, and I was, trying to, do my own little thing, put, videos and stuff out there. And I'm like, I was focused on the likes. Like, if I felt like maybe the people that maybe I knew wasn't liking it, or just the likes, like maybe I'm not doing something right. And maybe that could have been, you know what I mean? But I just feel like most definitely in the beginning, you shouldn't be focused on the likes. I don't think you really, to an extent, you know what I mean? Oh, here come my meatball. Here come my meatball. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. You are something else, boy. He loves the camera. All right, y'all. Girl is back. Go. That's my my little 4-year-old, Kiari, aka meatball. But yeah. So tapping back into it, it's just pretty much we be too focused on them likes, y'all. And we be so worried about the damn likes, but they ain't even put no goddamn content out yet. How the hell? How does that work? How we so focused on the likes? We all in our head damn, if I drop this video, shit, what if don't nobody like it? I'ma feel cringy. I'ma feel, neglected. I'ma feel unaffirmed, or but we haven't even put it out there to even give it a chance. You know what I mean? So the fact that we like that picture, we like that video, or some type of abstract thought that we created, that source, the Most High, blessed us with, that's enough. That's enough right there. The fact that you like it, that's a damn enough. It's going to be somebody that feels the exact same way, and they're going to fuck with you, and they're going to fuck with what you got to offer. You feel me? Know that. So that you know it. So that's just, it's important. It's just important to have that self-confidence. you know, and that inner knowing, you or him, you know what I mean, or whoever you go by, whatever you go by. I'm talking to either both genders. We both gotta have that confidence. I don't feel like it's just like a girl thing. I feel like it's a, you know, a man thing as well as it's a lady thing or a girl or boy thing, or however you want to look at it, you know. So just having that self-confidence, when you have that self-confidence inside something, that if that's something that you need to work on it. That's a part of healing thyself, you know what I mean? So if you need to work on doing that, do that to gain that self-confidence. Because when you have that self-confidence, it's like that inner knowing, you know? So you won't need that validation. Validation is cool, you know, because we're human. But we just need to obtain that inner knowing and validate ourselves, you know? Because that's the only validation that matters. The likes in the audience, all of that, that's going to come. You putting it out there into the ether and the universe, that's all you need to do. You do your part, and Source will do the rest for you. Period. So, with that being said, the one that I tend to struggle with a lot is consistency and discipline. Whew. Something, but I'm obtaining it. It's something that you have to build muscle to. You know what I mean? It's a muscle thing. You build up to it. It just doesn't come, you know? With that, I just say allow yourself to show up for you. Because when you show up for yourself, it's how you start to gain trust in yourself. Because it's like, if you look at it this way, you know how, you know, someone will make a promise to us that they're going to do something and they never follow through with that promise. We start to lose trust within that person. We don't trust them. So like when the next time they say we're going to do something, we be like, child, you're not going to do that shit. You know what I mean? We don't lost trust. You done said you was going to do this, that, and a damn third, and you ain't showed up for me not one time. Well, guess what? When we don't show up for ourselves and we say like, oh, I'm going to work out, or oh, I'm going to read this book today, 30 minutes, or oh, I'm going to write in my journal today, or oh, I'm going to, you know, whatever you set yourself to do and whatever goal you make for yourself, and you don't show up for yourself in that way, subconsciously you start to lose trust in yourself. And that's why it be hard when we say like, okay, oh, today I'm going to do this YouTube video. But in your back of your mind, you're like, I'm not really finna do this video because I just, you know, it's like, you don't realize you're doing it, but that's what's happening. So you have to start to gain that trust in yourself. And just by doing little things. Like, if you say you're going to read for 30 minutes, even if you read for 15 minutes, you're proud of yourself. You start to become proud of yourself, and you be like, oh my goodness, like I just did that. You feel good, and it's like you start building this rapport with yourself, with your own self, the relationship that you have with yourself. So just show up for yourself. You know, we just got to show up for ourselves. You know, so yes, so we just have to reprogram that, and you know, also creating a routine and a schedule that works best for you. Do that. I know, like me, I have 3 children. I work a 9 to 5 and things like that. And yeah, I've learned that a schedule is most definitely important for me. With all of that going on, I have to have some type of schedule. So like once you create like a schedule, then you can see what, you know, what open gaps, what free time you really have. You know, maybe you need to wake up earlier in the rising, you know, to maybe meditate, you know, to get some, you know, insight on, information you want to provide in your next video or whatever like that, you know? So, like, we have to create that schedule and just stick to it. Despite how you feel, we got to push through the feelings, you know, feel it, but just kind of learn how to regulate it. Because you don't want to always validate your feelings. You know, sometimes you can't validate your feelings in that moment. You just gotta push through it. Be like, okay, yeah, I'm tired, but I ain't tired. I'm gonna do this video. And as you get in the groove of it, your mood gonna change anyways. So, and that's really what I found for myself. You know, I get that the 9 to 5 pays the bills, but you still show up for that despite how you feel, right? 90% of the time. You feel me? So, aren't you and your passions just as important? But once you gain that consistency and that discipline and you start showing up for you, like I was just saying, you'll just gain that trust and things will flow from there. You know, results will come with consistency. And that's what I learned. Like when you going to the gym and you working out, like y'all, a girl just started back, well not back, but for the past 3 weeks, I've been working out as far as lifting weights. And I already feel the difference. I already feel just better. I already see it. And I'm telling you, like, the more you post your damn videos, the more you post content and think and show up for yourself and do it with intention, you're going to see results. We going to see results, y'all. That's what we got to tell ourselves. We going to see results. We got to speak that life. We got to affirm. We got to put it out there. You know what I mean? So tap into it, you know, groove with it and flow with it. You feel me? Things that can help you stay consistent and disciplined on your schedule and the calendar, you know, I just freaked that whole mess up. I'm like going off of my, I'm going off of my notes and I'm so like, you know, in a groove. But things that can help you, you know, stay consistent and disciplined is, you know, by creating that schedule, calendar, getting the notebook, writing notes, and also like incorporating things that you enjoy, you know, that gives you that momentum to create and, you know, to help your mind flow and go and expand and stuff like that. You know, for me, what I like to do is I go on a balcony, you know, and I sit and I, you know, I meditate. I ground myself. I listen. I look at what's going on around me. I listen to the things that's going on around me. You know, check in with all the senses. And, you know, I get comfortable and, you know, I just, you know, whatever topic I'm going to expound on, I start just writing out notes or whatever like that. So, you know, doing what's best for you. Also, I like to incorporate music too. So incorporating things that I apologize for the noise. My son has autism. So he's trying to, you know, however he can get it out, he can try to get it out. So I apologize for that background noise. But yeah, whatever topic that, you know, that that's what I do, you know, for whatever topic. I'll sometimes go out. But yeah, like I was saying, it's like just incorporating things that you like to do within the, you know, work or whatever that you're doing when you're creating. You know, it helps you flow and it helps you, you know, get more comfortable in it. So, yeah. So that's what I have for that. But friends and family is the next thing that I wanted to talk about. And this one is kind of like, I'm kind of like up and down with this, y'all. Like, honestly, I feel like if you have a friend or a family member or friends or a family that's like supportive of what you're doing, and you can be your true authentic self around them, I don't see no issue. I honestly don't see an issue with, you know, letting them know about your YouTube channel if it comes up. You know what I mean? Or if you feel like, you know, that would be like some type of support for your channel, most definitely do that. But if you already if you already know, you know those people that you feel like you walk around your eggshells with, where you feel like you can't really be your true authentic self, or those people that, you know, that's gonna project, or, you know, the naysayers, you know, don't tell them shit about what you got going on, okay? Don't tell them nothing, Nathaniel, you hear me? Because sometimes, you know, when you bring others into your vision, and it can really water it down. It can really water it down because the vision is just for you. And sometimes when you bring on family members and people like that, you know, when you know that they really don't have your best interest, just don't do it. Don't even set yourself up. Don't set yourself up. You know, like, let them find out when they come across it, you know, when your shit blow up. You feel me? But other than that, that's what I got to say for family and friends and even co-workers, especially co-workers. Don't do it. Don't do it. I just recommend just, you know, letting people authentically find you. Letting your tribe find you. Because, like I say, it's that vision. That vision was for you. And you don't want nobody. Sometimes the people closest to you, it just sucks. But it stinks sometimes. But it seems like the people that's closest to you, like blood or, you know, even family sometimes, they don't necessarily, you know, they don't really see you for who you are all the time. So, yeah. But, just to go back to like what we were talking about a little bit earlier in the video about like the haters and the comments and stuff like that being the thief of joy. But comparison is one of the number one thieves of joy. You know, you will never be satisfied, and it's hard to be satisfied with what you have if you're always looking at what someone else got. You know what I mean? Work with what you have. And again, be confident in it. Whatever you got, be confident in it. It's okay to look at others' content, you know, for some tips, but most definitely not to emulate it. You know what I mean? So, you know, you want your content anyways to be you. You want it to be who you are. When somebody see, you know, or hear something, they like, oh, that's Dime, I'll keep. Yeah, you right, that's Dime, I'll motherfucking keep. You know what I mean? So you want to have your own little imprint to it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Just, like I say, just do you. Be authentic. You know, don't look at what other people got going on. Focus solely on you. Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. You hear me? And another thing with comparison, like on the real tip, you hear anything? Hold on. I'm gonna get you something to drink. Or you can have some of my water. But on the real tip, when you start doing that comparison stuff, like honestly, jealousy creeps in. And that's a whole other setback. And yeah. Look. What God has for me, it is for me. Okay. Well, I tell you, kids, they'll let you be great, but when they want what they want, they don't care nothing about what you got going on. They're gonna let you be great. But yeah, like literally, like what God has for you is for you, and yeah, if you know that. And that's ingrained, you'll know not to compare in an unhealthy way. So also, you know, we just have to invite ourselves to be committed. Look, y'all, as you can tell, like look, my energy has like, you know, but you know, you have to be committed. Be committed as if you are in a relationship. Show up for your channel how you would want somebody to show up for you, you know? And we just got to graduate from the mindsets that we only have relationships with, you know, our significant other or just people in general. We have relations with so many things, animals, plants, our businesses. The universe has a whole, it's a relations in that, you know? Everything requires relation. So let's just build and establish a healthy relationship with our channels, as if, you know, we was dating it like that. You know, but also allowing your channel to grow. things take time to grow. And this kind of takes me to just starting and, you know, not worrying about perfection. You know, you'll gain editing skills as, you know, you go. Like right now, I don't got no editing skills. And this video, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to edit a little something, because, you know, I don't have to start over a little bit. But yeah, you know, just allow it. Just, you know, I think, like, for me anyways, I like to see that raw shit anyways. You know what I mean? Like, when you can see, like, what a person got going around, or just maybe their quirkiness, their bloops, it kind of helps you to connect versus always just seeing, like, perfection. Kiara. Nah. But yeah, you know, so, you know, y'all, a lot of times it really just boils down to us just being afraid of how things are just going to play out, you know. Fear is just false evidence appearing real, y'all. And you'll never know until you try. So, you know, this is what I have for you. Hopefully, you know, this is like, honestly, like how I feel. You know, these are the things that have been holding me back. And just getting it out, you know, getting it out there. You know, if you feel this way, you know, and this is something you've been experiencing, hopefully, like, some of my insight, you know, can help you, you know, start and just, you know, we can start together. We can do this together. You feel me? But if you still here at the end, drop our key in the chat, in the comments. And again, it's your girl time, our key. I'm here. I hope you here, because if you here, you still got purpose. Peace, light, and blessings.